Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel. We'll be painting today a basket of flowers. This will be quite impressionistic, so it will be like more fun to do, less stressful. Let's begin now. I'm gonna link down below the reference image for this tutorial. And now I'll be telling you the colors that we'll be using for today's painting. Actually, we'll be using quite a lot of colors today. Because again, this is a basket of flowers, so that there will be a lot of colors. I chose a photo that has a lot of flowers of different colors. I did not choose a photo which only has one type of flower or flowers with similar colors. So it will be a colorful painting. Let's begin now. So for the colors that we'll be using, you can see a lot of colors on my palette. We have here lilac, violet, burnt sienna, titanium white, magenta, green, oxide, cadmium yellow, orange, red, phthalo green, and black. That's it. Let's begin now. Actually, I might use my palette knife for some detailing later and maybe Q-tips later. But let's see guys, if it doesn't work out, then I'll just have to use my ordinary brush. And I'm gonna sketch first the subject. As you can see here, I've already underpainted my canvas. Actually, this is an old painting of mine that I don't like anymore. You can see some texture, right? Because it's quite impressionistic. The painting that used to be here was quite impressionistic and has a lot of thick paints. That's why you can see the bumps. That's why I decided to paint something that will cover these bumps, and I chose a basket of flowers painting. Alright, I'm talking too much now. Let's sketch the subject. I'm gonna use my burnt sienna in sketching. I'm gonna add tiny bit of black. This is just for sketching purposes, but basically the color of the basket will be quite browny in color. Alright, so the basket will be up here. Again, this is just the underpainting. Don't worry too much if it doesn't, right. The bumps will actually help me achieve that texture that I don't have to work on since they're already there. So this will be the basket, okay? And the handle of the basket will be like up here. But everything will be covered in paints later because of the flowers. We're just trying to get the color, the shape of it. Alright, so everything here will be flowers and yeah. Okay, so for the basket, let's begin with underpainting the basket. I'm gonna use a wider brush so that it gets the job real quicker. I'm gonna add again brown and black together. And just underpaint the basket with this color. I'm using black and brown without actually blending them. I'm using them together without blending them. I hope it makes sense. This is the underpainting for the basket. Like that. Alright, let me check. Okay, that's good. Again guys, I'm sorry if you see the bumps, but I kind of like it. It gives my painting more interest and some sort of history as well, because it's a painted over canvas. So yeah, there is some sort of story right here. Alright, now I'm gonna use I'm not washing my brush really, green oxide plus black, okay? And I'm gonna use this dark color right here. It will make sense later, guys. For now, let's just do this. We're trying to get some depth. Okay, to here, maybe. Right. Okay, and then I'm gonna allow it to dry. I hope it gets, all right, I'm gonna make get some black. I'm gonna darken. All right. Okay, I'm gonna wash my brush out and I'm gonna use another brush just for detailing. I'm gonna use my white plus brown. Just mix them together, and the mixing of black paint, it's all right. It's gonna mute the brown color. You can actually add a tiny bit of black. Let's add some details on the basket. Okay, I'm gonna make the basket quite curvy-ish. Like so. This is just the preliminary underpainting for the basket. This is not the actual detail that I really want for this basket, but for purposes of underpainting it, we're going to start with that. All right, now I'm gonna wash my brush out, get my brown and black. Make sure more black than brown. And let's make some more detailing. So the light is coming from the right side, so the left side should be quite dark. And the shadows should also appear on the left side. We're going going to use the reference image only for composition purposes. We might end up with a different image, but it's alright because, you know, then it becomes your very own version of the subject. Alright, I'm gonna wash my brush out. Okay. I'm gonna add a tiny bit of cadmium yellow to my existing brown-white mixture. Cadmium yellow. Let's use this. I'm gonna add a tiny bit of white. Okay. And maybe brown. We are going to use this for highlights. Alright, and then we can leave it this way for now. We can move on to the flowers. Again, we will go back to this later. Let's just allow the paints to dry. Okay, we will add more details later. Again, let's just wait for the paints to dry. Let's move on to the impressionistic flowers. Alright, these are a lot of flowers and we really don't want to be super detailed. We want it to be quite fun to do. We don't want it to be like super tiring. We want it to be fun. So I'm gonna start with a huge orange, not orange, but quite peachy orange. I'm gonna get my white, tiny bit of orange, tiny bit of brown. This is how you do the peachy color. Orange, white, and brown. And let's create some impressionistic rose. Okay, this is the underpainting for that. I'm using some brownie colors. I'm gonna get my yellow. I'm gonna add a tiny bit of yellow along the edges. Okay, that's impressionistic flower number 1. But we will go back to that later. I'm gonna get my white and yellow. Okay, tiny bit of brown. Just tiny bit. Let's create some like white yellowish flower. I'm gonna get my white. Let's go to the edges. Okay, now let's move on to the next impressionistic flower. Again, we'll go back to that. We'll go back to that. Let's just first identify where things are gonna go. I'm gonna get my magenta, maybe a tiny bit of red, and brown. You know, I'm using brown to tone down the color. You can use other alternative for that. Gonna make some tiny bit of flower right here, and if you want to add some more of that color, okay, now I'm going for some magenta rose. Okay, with the white, I'm just gonna add some highlights. Here. Right. Okay, wash your brush out. I'm gonna dab onto my orange and then some red. Make some flowers here. Okay. Can add a tiny bit of flower here. Some here. Okay, wash your brush out. Oops, sorry. I'm gonna get my magenta plus red. Let's just try to create more flowers. Right, I'm gonna get some yellow colors. Dab it on here. Using some cadmium yellow. Okay, I'm gonna mix that with a tiny bit of white. I keep saying that this is not the final look. We're just trying to make things, it's like mapping out. So I'm gonna get my green and then black. Maybe green, oxide, and black. And we're going to use that to create some more deep colored leaves. Adding some more depth. You can even go in between those flowers to create more depth. Again, you should take a look at your reference photo so that you kind of know the composition that you really like. It helps, guys. Okay, now I'm just gonna use my green oxide, maybe add a tiny bit of yellow for some more highlighted leaves. I'm gonna add white. Okay, I'm gonna wash my brush out. This is quite fun. I rarely do this type of painting. I kind of like it. I'm gonna get my violet. Okay, add a tiny bit of lilac so that it becomes quite visible. Let's create some like violet flowers. Here as well. I'm gonna get my black for depth and shadows and volume. Alright, now I'm gonna mix my violet with my red, okay? And let's go make some depth around some roses. So go inside the rose and make some depth. Like that. I'm gonna make some more depth here, suggesting fullness of the flowers. Okay, wash the brush out, and I'm gonna make some more light magenta colors. You can use your lilac plus white. And then some magenta color. Where's my magenta? And then I'm gonna make some light yellows. Okay, wash your brush out. orange. Okay. Some violet plus red. Okay, now let's add some more detailing here. I'm gonna get my burnt sienna plus yellow and white. Okay. Let's go back to the basket. I'm gonna get more black. I'm gonna darken. The left side. And make some shadowing. Okay, now let's create some more flower detailing. I'm gonna get my white. Get your white. And let's mix, oops. I think I use a different color. So make sure you wash your brush out completely. Just white. And as you go inside, you go more yellow. And then try to separate the leaves or the petals from another flower. By making some negative spaces. Alright, like so. I'm gonna get my orange. And then my yellow. Okay, and then my white. Okay, I'm gonna get my white. Let's add some more detailing. So I think I have to use my pure white plus yellow. And I will use a clean Q-tip for this step. So I'm gonna dab onto my white and yellow, like so. And using this Q-tip, I'm just gonna make some like tiny flowers. Like so. Like that. Okay. Let's add some more. In some areas we do the full flower, and in some areas we'll just allow 3 petals to be showing so that we give it some dimension. Alright, now I'm gonna dab onto my white. Just pure white, guys. Pure white. Just dab. Quite fun. Alright, like that. And then using the same Q-tip, I'm just gonna dab onto my green plus black. Let's create some what do you call this flower? It's like corn-shaped flower. Like that, and then here some okay. Now I'm gonna use another clean Q-tip so that we can highlight. I'm gonna dab onto my white with a tiny bit of yellow. I'm just gonna start dabbing on right here. Alright, like that. Now I'm gonna revert to my ordinary brush. Let's make some more detailing. I'm gonna get my white. Oh, this is nice. Okay, I'm gonna make some light browny color. Let's go back to highlighting. The basket. Let's create some more details. Okay, I'm gonna get my green oxide and we're going to apply some light greeny colors. So that it doesn't look like just plain black or dark green. Keep adding some highlights on the basket because, you know, we want it to be quite randomish. Alright, I'm gonna wash my brush out, and I think for the background I'm just gonna make this area quite light because we want some sort of light light source. We want some suggestion of light source right from the right side. So I'm gonna dab onto my white and I'm gonna spread some white colors right here so that kind of looks like the white or the light or the bright light is coming from the left side or the right side. This is just a simple addition to our painting that kind of suggests where the light is. You may or may not do this one, but I want to do it. A tiny bit of water. Right, like that. Right. Okay. Now I want to go back to adding some more detailing. So for the basket, I'm just gonna add a tiny bit of yellow and white. Like so. Right. Okay, I'm gonna get my red color. Get your red. I'm gonna dab on some more red colors right here to really make it fuller. Okay. Here. I'm gonna get my dark orange. Just to make some more details. Okay, I'm gonna get my black just to create more like separation from or in between those flowers. Okay, green oxide, tiny bit of yellow. Some hints of light green here near the light source. It should be a little lighter considering that the light source is here. I'm gonna dab onto my white again just to create more flowers. Can even add some hints of white and yellow in between, like fill in those blanks or negative spaces with some white and yellow just to make your flower a little more full. Yeah, you can do that. Oh, this is nice. This is very nice. Just gonna make it quite detailed. right, and then let's just clean. Okay. Let's just create another, like a rose, a budding rose. Or it can be a tulip. It can be anything, but right, I kind of like this one. I'm just gonna make some negative space because I feel like there's no space here. Like that. Just separating the flower because I kind of don't like it when they're just piled up. Okay, now I'm gonna get my orange plus white. Just for tiny highlights. Okay, maybe add a tiny bit of yellow if you really want some more highlights. The fuller, the better. You can add hints of orange. Right. This is nice. This is nice, guys. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I think I have to sign this now because this is done. I think this is done. So I'm gonna sign this now. And for the signature, I'm just gonna use my green. Maybe here. Or here. Excuse me. I just sneeze. Alright. Okay. I think this is done. Right? Actually, you can add a little more detailing if you want. Okay, I think. Okay, I think this is done. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one. This is my first time to do something like this. I tried something different. And you know, it's really fun to try something new. There's no harm, there's really no harm in just going for it. So I'm just gonna fix this. And just going for it and, you know, try something new. For tutorial for purposes, it's just not me learning, it's also, or it's not just you learning, it's also me learning, which is quite nice. I'm just gonna highlight this area. Okay. By highlighting it, I'm trying to tell where the light is, or where the light source is. All right. Okay, I'm done. Yay! I hope you enjoyed this one, guys. It's quite new to me, as I've already told you, but it's quite you know, freeing as well to try something new that I haven't done in I think in 2 years or 3 years. So I hope you enjoyed this one. If you like this one, please give me a thumbs up and share this video with your friends so that they can learn as well from this video. See you in my next video, guys. Happy weekend!